What's up? I got you all set up. Hopefully, I don't know. I got a new cord for the microphone, so hopefully that sounds good. Um, Alan, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I posted a couple of places. So if you guys are in select Discord groups, you'll get the notification that I'm going live before I actually go live because YouTube does weird stuff. But anyways, I'm going to welcome you guys to today's Stock Watch Sunday. Hi, my name is Brad. This channel is Only Chaos. The channel is specifically dedicated to helping anybody, learn about the world of finance and business. It's a crazy and chaotic world, and it's my job to help you own it. So welcome to the channel. Hopefully I earn a thumbs up from you and a subscription if you want to see more content such as this. We got all kinds of stuff on this channel. I talk about the stock market primarily. That's most of my focus throughout the week. And then I dedicate one day out of the week to the barcast. So if you guys aren't privy to that, it's a little bit more lighthearted. It's a lot more fun. Stocks can be sometimes a little bit dry, a little bit boring. Try to make them as fun as I can. But I'm also a CEO. I'm also a business owner. And so I thought maybe I could use some of the successes and some of the, trials or whatever that I've had, my journey as an entrepreneur, and just share them with everybody. And I do that with my partner, Christian. We do it at a local bar, and it's a lot of fun. And so go check it out. We have hangover voice again. Are you kidding me? How we doing? Is that better? Jeez, a whiz. This is on my nerves. Okay. It's driving me crazy. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it, man. I know. I don't understand what's up with that. But at least it happens like in the beginning of the live stream, when I can when people are still just rolling in. So it is what it is. But yeah, guys. So if this is your first time visiting, let me just go ahead and let you know that you can ask me questions about stocks that maybe I don't cover, and I can cover them at the end. What I do ask, just one housekeeping rule is give me something more than just thoughts on insert ticker here. Give me something why do you see value in it? So we have some sort of direction to go into. This is a live stream after all, so try to keep it as efficient as possible. So if you have some meat to whatever it is that you're looking up, I'd like to know, and I would be happy to look that over for you. But it's going to be a crazy week, with the recent killing of the ISIS leader. Futures are up. Everything's green right now. It remains to see what happens when the markets actually open tomorrow. And I've had a lot of people asking me about this already, and here's my thoughts on what could happen tomorrow as far as the overall market's concerned. Don't expect a whole lot of anything. And I'll show you in a bit about why I think that is, because of what we've seen in the past. And I'll give you an example of that, why I think that it's really not going to be all that reactionary. You might look to maybe play some metals types plays or something like that, but I really don't think a whole lot's going to come of that. So we'll get onto that. We'll also talk about penny stocks, of course, as always. First and foremost, I have cut my teeth and quit my job because of penny stocks. So we'll always talk about penny stocks on this channel, specifically in the OTC. But then per request, you guys have given me a lot of good feedback on, big board stocks, what to watch out for, how to trade them. And so we're going to do a little bit of both. And so it's been working out so far. People really seem to like that. So that's what I'm going to stick with. And so, yeah, let me welcome some folks here. What's going on? Alan, Fishing for Success, Matt Fuller, Joe Kaz, hey man, what's going on? Good to see you. Greg, what's up, man? Andrew, I know the deep voice. I should just keep the whole stream that one time and just have people like, what the hell's going on? You guys are awesome, though. So actually, I did have a good night. So if you guys go to my 2 nights ago, I crashed a wedding for the first time in my entire life. Legitimately crashed a wedding. Go check it out. If you're not following my Instagram, go to my Instagram. I actually saved it so you can see the whole entire experience. Instagram is @ownthechaos. It's @own_the_chaos. But if you search it, you should be able to find it. Go check that out. I actually crashed an entire wedding. It was a blast. One of the best times I've ever had. So pretty awesome. But yeah, the hangover is non-existent. But anyways, what's up, Mike? Good to see you, man. Pred woke up from the dead. Yeah, it actually did. Went up to the QX. What's up, King Bradicus? Dude, that is the... Why didn't I think of that? That is a damn good name. King Bradicus. That is... yeah. All right. So let's get to it, guys. I think we left enough time for people to roll in. So thank you so much for that. All right. So what I'm going to do is what I usually do per, every Stock Watch Sunday, usually every live stream, is that I take you to WeTrade HQ. Now, if you're not familiar with this platform, if this is your first time visiting my live stream, this is my platform that I've built with my partner, Jake. He and I have collaborated and came up with, we wanted to build a platform. If you guys are coming from Investors Hub or you're coming from StockTwits, those types of platforms, Jake and I decided that, we knew that we can make a better platform than those types of platforms. And we did. And it's a ever-growing evolution, if you will. We're always adding new stuff. We're always improving it every single day. Jake is an amazing, wizard when it comes to building WeTrade HQ. I kind of give him my vision and he makes it come to life. He has his own visions too, but man, he just really kind of kills it. But I wanted to show you now in regards to the ISIS killing going on, right? So not the ISIS killing, but the ISIS leader, Baghdadi, was killed last night, and people were asking me how do I think this is going to affect the stock market. So I pulled up SPY, which is the ETF for the S&P 500, and pulled it all the way to May 2nd of 2011. Now, if anybody can, kind of give me, you can chime in, but May 2nd, 2011 is a significant date. And the reason that's a significant date is because Osama bin Laden was also killed on that date, May 2nd, 2011. And this is what the market did. This is May 2nd, 2011 right here. And it actually went down for the next couple of days. So do I think that we're going to see a rally because this individual that was involved with ISIS, founded ISIS, is going to impact the stock market at any rate? I think that if it does, it's just going to be a blip on somebody's radar, and that's going to be it. There's not going to be much else to kind of go over. I don't think it's going to cause this massive rally. I just really don't. If anything, it just kind of lets everybody know that this is still a conflict. It's still ever evolving. We still can't fully get out of the Middle East. And so, it's just one of those things where I don't think that it's really going to be impacted all that much. You can see the futures. I just pulled up Yahoo Finance real quick. Futures are up slightly. Dow's up 152 points. That's pretty significant. Maybe we see new highs in the actual market, but I don't think that it's really going to be impacted all that much. Just based off of historical events, I don't think that really there's that much to really go into as far as this development in ISIS is concerned. So just to kind of put that to bed, I don't think that the overall market's going to really move. Having said that, I think that the market's going to move for other reasons. I think we're headed towards record highs here, to be completely honest with you. I'm just going to scroll back over here to the S&P 500. We're triple topping here. So if there's enough momentum and we break through this resistance on S&P 500, we could see new highs for sure. You can see the WeTrade HQ sentiment. Everybody's been voting bullish. I'll go ahead and vote bullish with you guys. And I think that it's going to continue. If this breaks out over this previous high, we might continue to go up. There might be a few people that say, yeah, but this is a triple top here. Expect it to come back down. Maybe. But if it breaks over this previous high, then we could see nice new fresh highs and record highs for S&P 500 and the overall market. So be on the lookout for that. I think we're headed in that direction, especially with elections coming up and stuff like that. So anyways, I think that's where we're headed. And I don't think it has anything to do with ISIS or the development that happened over the weekend as far as that's concerned. Fishing for Success. Thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. Always shout out to those people that love to support my channel. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. And as far as if anybody wants to make any kind of metals plays, I always love to look at JNUG, GLD, a bunch of other ones. Gold, just the ticker symbol gold is another good one. It's pretty nice and cheap, moves pretty safely. JNUG does not move very safely at all, but it's kind of hovering around this 64, 65 resistance area. So if this breaks up over that, if gold continues to move in the right direction, I would imagine that JNUG would also move in that direction as well, especially with the markets moving with the price of gold. It's kind of interesting to see that. So I think that if you were looking to make some sort of entry on JNUG and make a day trade out of it, look for it to break up over $64, $65, and then continue from there. Perhaps to all the way up to about 68, and that's going to be your next area of resistance. Moves up over $68 and breaks through that, then might continue to make new highs up over $69, maybe even closer to 70. But I don't expect it to go crazy, just because it's JNUG at the end of the day. So that's my sentiment on all of that. Okay, so moving on. Now, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm doing here, I'm going to go over some of the big board stuff, and then I'm going to go into the OTC penny stock plays as well. So stay tuned. Just hang with me for a few more minutes if you're anxiously awaiting the penny stock stuff. If you want to stay tuned for the big board stuff, this is it. So the next one's going to be Apple. Now, Apple, this is on the daily chart here. I love Apple right now. It's just a freaking monster. It has earnings. Let's see here, 10:30 after hours. So on the 30th, that would be, let's see here. What day is the 30th? Wednesday. Wednesday's the 30th. So Wednesday after hours is when we're expecting earnings. Earnings are supposed to be actually down. They're expected to be down 2.7%. So if they beat earnings, this thing will go off. Right now, we're at all-time highs of Apple. I imagine Apple's probably going to be closer to 300 by the end of the year, to be completely honest with you. I think if you want something to put, I'm going to vote bullish on it. If you want to see something, or you want to invest in something that you think has like a lot of long-term potential, I think Apple is it. But I would wait till after the earnings report comes out. If they don't meet expectations, then Apple will continue to come down and allow you to buy at a cheaper price. And if it does that, it could potentially come back down to this 217 area. That's where I'm looking at. If earnings do poorly, this is where I'm looking to potentially scoop them up and go long on Apple. I would hesitate to go short on it. You guys have been seeing me go short on a lot of things because there's been a lot of potential for shorting opportunities because things have been running so crazily. Would I short Apple? I don't think I would. Honestly, I really don't think I would. I think it's just way too powerful. The iPhone 11's just blowing everybody's socks off. They have their live streaming capabilities that they've just been announcing that will be going live here. And so I just don't think that Apple is going to be one that I would go bearish on, period. I don't know why there's some sentiment on the sell side of this as far as WeTrade HQ is concerned. I'm going to have to go against that grain a little bit and say that Apple's probably going to continue to go up from here. The reason why I drew out this trend line here is because I always tell folks, if you're experiencing all-time highs and you're kind of like in uncharted territory here, such as we are with Apple, the trend is your friend here. And so if this breaks out of this trend, if this breaks down out of this trend, then you'll know that potentially it could continue trending down. And it's developed some potential supports here as well. Maybe around 233, I could see that. And this is on the daily chart. So if I'm looking to go long on Apple, it'll be to be a swing trade. I'm not going to be day trading Apple. I will be holding on to this one and going long on it. At least through the end of the year. Probably one of those things. I always tell people within my morning mentorship, so if you guys aren't part of that, go check out the links in the description below, and I'll offer you there's a coupon code this week. I always put one out for Stock Watch Sunday, so keep on the lookout for that. And so I always tell them, it's okay to day trade some stuff. If you want to just day trade, you want to be in and out quick, cool, that's fine. Swing trading as well. But always, like, if you have the liquidity to do so, take some positions and then create a core long-term portfolio for yourself. And so that's what I'm planning on doing with Apple. I think it's going to be a good one to do that with. And yeah, I mean, I think that's just going to be a good long-term hold. I think through till the end of the year, Apple's going to be a good one to continue to go long on. And I just wouldn't bet against it. I think it's just too stinking strong. So there you have it with Apple. Let me check in with you guys, see if anybody of you are commenting on that one as well. Okay, cool. All right, so moving on. The next one's gonna be AMD. So AMD has had interesting moves in it. So AMD actually has earnings as well. These are all going to be earnings plays. AMD has earnings on the 29th, so it'll be on Tuesday after hours. Their expected earnings of 0.14 cents, so 14 cents per share is their expected earnings. You know, I always tell folks too that you don't want to be holding this overnight. So unless you already made some money and you kind of want to hold on to some shares just to see where it goes. And that's, you know, obviously it's going to be a gamble, but you know, if you have the liquidity and the means to do so, your risk tolerance allows for it, then sure, hold on to see it. If you're expecting AMD to beat those earnings, then, you know, obviously you would come out on top, but if not, then it's not going to be a good day for you. So AMD actually had a triple top here and broke out of that. So it had one right here and started to break out. I even talked about this with my folks in my mentorship group, and I actually missed my chance on AMD to get in once it broke out over that. But I think that it's going to run into the earnings, so look for this to make a nice move tomorrow. I think we see a nice continuation of this, maybe up over $33, and then beyond that. I mean, maybe we'll see all-time highs on AMD. We'll see. But I think a lot of that will depend on those earnings. We already saw how some positive earnings have impacted several stocks over last week and the week before, since this has been a crazy and wild earnings season. Tesla has been just freaking off the chain. I mean, Tesla's just been amazing. But I think that maybe we see some breakout here up over 33, and then look for it for, you know, breakout over all-time high of around $34, $35 per share if those earnings are good. Now, I'm looking to play this probably tomorrow and even Tuesday up until the earnings. And I don't know if I'm going to hold over earnings period or not. I think it depends on how well I do in the trade. Maybe I'll hold on to a few of those shares just to see how it goes. I certainly wish I would have done that with Tesla. And so that's kind of what's got me thinking about what I should be doing with AMD and even Apple. And so I think that it's going to be quite the story to follow between Apple, AMD, and then finally BYND. Now, this is the only one that I'm going to be going short on as far as earnings are concerned. You guys, if you guys have been following me for some time, you know that I can't stand this stock. You know, it's just been ridiculous. So they do have earnings that are coming out on tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 28th, so 10/28 after hours. The expected earnings per share is 04 cents. And so here's the thing with BYND. I'm still going to be shorting this. So I talked about this last Thursday, I believe it was, on BYND. They have this lockup period where they're going to be dumping shares of back into the float, 48 million shares, which triples the size of the float. That is penny stock numbers. Compare this to the likes of GoPro that has a similar kind of setup, similar kind of situation that GoPro was in. You know, they had a really small float, really tiny share structure for their IPO. Then the lockup period ended, and then it just went from like $100 a share almost, and now it's you know, technically a penny stock. And so, do I think BYND is going to go down to penny stock status? I think that remains to be seen, but don't be surprised when this hits around $60 a share or lower, because this is not going to be good. I don't even care what the earnings are going to be on BYND. BYND beat earnings over the summer, and now look where it's at. You know, they beat earnings by double what they were. Expected earnings were 8 cents per share. last earnings report, and then they were at 17 cents per share. Now they're expected 04. Don't expect that. I wouldn't expect that at all. And so I think that between that and the lockup period coming to an end on the 29th, they picked a heck of a time to do the earnings report. So if the earnings are bad and they're dumping shares into the float, look out below. So BYND, I think, is going to be an excellent short. I shorted this from $1.20 or $124. I've been shorting this all summer, really, but I held on to it the longest that I've ever held on to BYND. At $124, I've been in this short. I actually covered them on Friday because or Thursday because it was acting a little wonky, and I was like, I'm going to lock in profits here. But then I took yet another short position on BYND. I have a very large short position on it, and I think it's going to pay off for me in the end. That was an $8,000 short profit that I covered, and I think it's going to yield even more than that this time around, especially when that lockup period occurs. So I was super happy with this, and I think that this BYND short is going to continue to work out for me. Let me check in with you guys. Justilo, teach me. Yeah, okay. So let me give you this. So before we get into the penny stocks, I'll give you this one. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Anyways, the coupon code this week is Halloween. There you go. Halloween. It gives you 20% off. 20% off the mentorship. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the mentorship, I go live via Zoom for an hour in the morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time. So it's the busiest time in the market. That's when we make a plan, execute our plans, all that good stuff. But I'm with you throughout the entire day as well in a private Discord group. So people are like, well, I can't make that time commitment in the morning. That's okay. First of all, I record all of my sessions, so you can go back and watch them. They're available to you on WeTrade HQ because it's an amazing program or platform, and you should go check it out. And I'm with you throughout the entire day in Discord. Not only that, but you can see folks in here like Blade Runner Zero and Alan and Bob or Shark and Fishing for Success. Those guys, I can already tell you, are already in my group, and they're veteran traders. They help other people in my group as well. It's an amazing platform to be a part of. So you want to go check it out. Links in the description. Put in that Halloween code, and you'll get 20% off. So anyways, let's move on to some penny stocks. So the first one I want to talk about is HIRU. Now, I talked about this one. I can't remember if it was last week or the week before. It's still very much on my radar. This has rumors of a merger. We talked about how the Twitter company, or the company's Twitter account tweeted out how they were merging into HIRU and expect filings and reinstatement soon through the Georgia Secretary of State. Now, this is a little bit of a unique one. Usually we're used to seeing Secretary of State reinstatements through the likes of, Nevada, Wyoming, Florida, Delaware. Those are the most common ones. Every once in a while, you'll see one from Pennsylvania or New York or whatever. This is one of those times where you'll see one from Georgia. And so we'll be on the lookout for that. I think that the share structure here, is pretty small for it being down here in the triple zeros. Now, if you guys know me, you know that I always treat 000 stocks as if they're lotto plays, and that's how this should be treated. It's not going to be one of those things where I tell you to go buy it and go buy it because it's going to change your life. And I think there's a lot of people that get wrapped up into that, but that's not the case here. If you have some money to throw around and you want to take a little bit of cash and throw it at a 000 stock, I think HIRU could be one for you, especially if the reinstatement comes about. Should take off. This thing trades very, very thinly. You can see there's not really a whole lot of volume here through the WeTrade HQ chart here. You just can't really see that much volume, but it's still moving up quite nicely. So it's been a great little mover so far. And I think if that reinstatement comes through, that this should really kind of skyrocket. So, again, share structure 1.2 billion, which is a ton of shares, truth be told. But again, given the price that it's at right now, it's really not. This is pretty characteristic, pretty common share structure for something that's at 000. So, nevertheless, It's trading nice and thin at this point in time. And so if the reinstatement comes through, I think it should make at least a nice little double for anybody who's in it. Next one is T-Cell. Now, T-Cell is very interesting, guys. T-Cell is very interesting because I know that we've been talking about this now for a while, but it's no longer a 000 stock. Had an amazing move this past week. Again, this is the daily chart. Look at this daily chart. I mean, how sexy is that? How sexy is this T-Cell chart right now? And it's moving on nothing. It's moving on. People just keep buying this up. They just keep buying it up. And I think that we'll see an even increased attention to the likes of T-Cell this week because of how Bitcoin's been doing. So if we look at Bitcoin over here at WeTradeHQ.com, you can look up whatever you want. Bitcoin had an amazing bounce in it over the last several days. So you can see the last 4 days, it's gone from the low 7,400s all the way up to up over 10,000 before settling back down at about 9,000 right now. 96.80 is where Bitcoin is right now. So this massive move on Bitcoin is going to get those cryptocurrency and Bitcoin related stocks moving. So we know that T-Cell is getting their filings together. We talked about this last week. And so this is still very much in play. Most of my folks are on free shares already. If you're not familiar with what that is, you know, we bought into this in the 000s on the fact that this could potentially be a nice mover, even though that it was a 000 stock and that we should treat them all as if they're lotto plays. This was a great one to get into. I had a couple people ask me if I haven't got into T-Cell yet, where should I get in at? And so that's a really great question. I think right now, I don't see this going below 001 anytime soon. I think that because of the relevancy of Bitcoin and how cryptocurrency is kind of like back on the top of everybody's mind right now, these cryptocurrency related stocks are going to get some attention. And I think T-Cell, with them announcing this reverse merger and everything going on with it, getting their filings together and their approvals through FINRA, I think it's going to be a nice mover. So do I think it's going to come back down? If it does, it probably will come back. The area that I think is going to end up bouncing at, if it even bounces, is going to be right here. It's going to be at 0012. That looks like to be the area that, to me, that I think could be the potential bounce for T-Cell. But I don't expect that to go below there unless something crazy happens. Nevertheless, it's very small share structure. You know, this is, again, for this price point, it's very, very small. And I'd venture to say that it's much smaller than this number, given the way this trades. I mean, it's just an amazing mover. Nice, slow, and steady. These are the types of stocks that I love, guys. You know, we're going to talk about one in just a second about how scary that particular stock is. You know, people, always ask me about these insanely, ridiculously thin floats. And I'm like, listen, for me, I like to be able to get up and take a leak and come back and, everything's all hunky-dory. Like, I'm good. I don't have to worry about it. And T-Cell is one of those ones where I can just buy it. I can set it and forget it. Now I'm on free shares and I'm good, But there's a couple of these that are like, I can't buy these quick pump and dumps. It just doesn't jive with me. For one, first of all, I don't like my head to be spinning all that much. Second of all, I don't like to teach that to people. I think that being able to hold on to longer term swing trades are going to be where you really make your money. It's fun to watch some of these crazy stocks pop off and go nuts. It's incredibly fun. And I cheer on people that get in early and, have an amazing move. And in 20 minutes, it goes up 10,000%. Yes, that does happen. But I just can't get behind it. I don't know. I just can't. So anyways, T-Cell, I think is going to be a good one. It's a great steady mover, one that you can get into. You can get up and take a leak and come back and be fine. So anyways, T-Cell. Love that one. I think we see it's a nice move because of the relevancy that it has to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So good one to keep an eye on there. All right. The next one, actually, let me check in with you guys. How's everybody doing? See you, Blade Runner. You're probably already gone. All right. Your chance of getting T-Cell was Friday at 13. Yeah, might have been. Is Bitcoin now an approved commodity? I'm not sure. I wouldn't be the one. I'm not the cryptocurrency expert. Decoy, you can ask away, man. You can ask any questions, and I'll just go back and look at them as you are, as I come back and check in with you guys. So, Alabama says yes, buy puts on BYND. I couldn't agree with you more. So, all right. So the next one's going to be ARSN. Now, I talked about this one before, but this, lo and behold, came down here and bottomed out on this chart and started to move back up. We're seeing more developments on ARSN. They got themselves current this week, which was pretty awesome. Their updated balance sheet looked pretty good as well. They do have notes there. So, just make sure that you're keeping an eye on that. But they're not an astronomical amount of notes. It's not like it's something that I think is going to destroy the stock. Absolutely not. And the market cap here is ridiculous. 855,000 market cap. Are you freaking kidding me? Why is this below a penny? There's a lot of stocks out there that are, several pennies, several pennies that have no legitimate business, that are worth more than ARSN right now. And ARSN has a legitimate business. I thought this was interesting this week. They put this out on Friday. Associated Press put out a piece on Yingling ice cream, and this is the brand that is ARSN. So they have an ice cream company, Yingling Ice Cream. They're going to be a nationally known company, already in several states on Eastern and Midwest. And so I think they just continue to grow here. We should be seeing announcements from them. So on the 17th, they actually put out a tweet out on, now you guys know that tweets aren't the gospel, but they've done a pretty good job at communicating with us via Twitter and following through on a lot of that. So we're pleased to announce that the current financials will be posted next week. This will let the yield sign. In addition, we are late stages on two very significant agreements that will bring more horsepower to our marketing team and to our private equity efforts. So I would expect some sort of 8K or PR that comes out this week, and I think that we see a nice little move on ARSN, more so than we have seen already. I think that if it breaks out over 008, it should should march right onto that proverbial 01 area, which is always a tough mental resistance for a lot of people. But once it breaks over 01, every time it breaks over 01, it always has a really good pop in it. So be on the lookout for ARSN. This is another one that I've been holding on to for some time. ARSN is one of those longer term holds that I'm very pleased with holding on to because they are a legitimate business, and that market cap's ridiculous. So yeah. ARSN, if you haven't bought any already, look for dips. But again, look for a breakout. If it breaks out over 008, you might as well grab some and then, scale yourself in, look for opportunities to average down if you even have an opportunity to do that with, which I know is probably a proverbial sin for a lot of people is the averaging down. But in the OTC, I've made a lot of money averaging down on stuff, a lot of money. So, it's not averaging down is not good for somebody who's day trading. But if you're looking for an investment, a nice swing trade, I think it's perfectly okay to average down in certain situations. I think ARSN is one of those situations that you could capitalize on grabbing some nice cheap shares on. So ARSN. Now this is the one that I wanted to talk about. This is the one where you could not get up and take a leak and be comfortable doing so. And this is KDCE. So KDCE came out with the 8K on Friday and basically saying there was a change of control. There is a company reverse merging into KDCE. It's no longer going to be Kid Castle. I don't even remember what that was before, but it's going to be a CBD company. And this is the website, cbdxfund.com. If you guys aren't familiar with who's actually merging into them, it's CBD Biosciences. Let's just keep it at that. It is a pharmaceutical company which intends to engage in discovery, development, and commercialization of cures and novel therapeutics for proprietary cannabinoid, all that good stuff. I'm not even going to read all that. I can't pronounce that. I'll just fumble over my words and sound like a blithering idiot. So they're basically taking over KDCE, and it made some monster moves. And why did it make some monster moves on Friday? Well, because they have 30 million shares in the OS. It's an unbelievable low floater that went from Um, double zero, I'm sorry. Yeah, 007, I believe, right? 007 all the way up to $2.20 freaking cents. Unbelievable move. Even it closed well below half of its high, which is why it's so scary. And it was still up 4,000%. So, you know, the thing is with KDCE, people are like, what should I do with this thing? I haven't bought into it. Should I get in? Where should I get in at? And I think, guys, I think that it could potentially continue here. But you have to ask yourself what the risk is. You know, it looks as if there was a potential, and this is on the 5-minute chart. This looks like there's a potential bounce at 73 cents. You know, you can see here on the 5-minute chart that it bounced up off of there and actually started to come back down. What I would say is look for some sort of consolidation before just hopping in on this. If this is something that you just have to be in, if KDC is just something that you cannot let run without you and you just can't bring yourself to not letting it run without you, look for some sort of consolidation around this 76 to, you know, maybe 95 cent range. So this 20-cent range, if it can consolidate through there, you know, maybe you could consider getting yourself a position there. But I would suggest probably just letting this one go. It closed 4,000% up in a single day. You know, that's insane. Can it continue to go? Of course it can. We've seen this before. DCGD, UNRG, which, again, I think UNRG is still another good play. It came down quite a bit, but I think it just allowed itself some opportunity. But KDCE, guys, just, you know, be careful with it. This is one of those things where the double-edged sword of a low floater, you know, is that it goes straight up with ease. Doesn't take a whole lot of dollar volume to move this thing up, but it also doesn't take a whole lot of dollar volume to move it down. So if you missed out on it, you missed out on it. That's how I'm viewing it. I missed the boat, and you can just congratulate anybody else who got into it and held through all of that craziness. Nicely done to anybody who did. Great job. But for me personally, probably going to stay away from it. But I think that this definitely has potential to keep going. And maybe I'll take a position if it makes sense at some point in time. But right now, I don't think it does. I will wait to kind of see where the dust settles and see if there's an opportunity for me to get some pretty cheap shares. Right now is not exactly an area where I would do that. It was unbelievable, just Dilo. Unbelievable stock. TOMI. Yeah, TOMI is another good one. Hey, what's up, Blade Runner? So if the spread is bad, I won't. Okay, I'll answer that in a second. Decoy. Oh, I see. Okay. Let me move back up. So this is the time of the live stream that I'll go ahead and answer some of your questions. Let me just scroll through here. Let's see here. Do you see a good potential in USRM? USRM, no. So USRM units is under a promo. They're got a really astronomical amount of debt. So USRM has to get through all of that, and I don't see them getting through that anytime soon. So they're going to have to get rid of all their debt, and then they're going to have through dilution, and then they're going to have to do a reverse split, maybe two of them, to get themselves to a point to where it'd be worth buying. So USRM probably going to be a no-go for me personally. If you see value in it, obviously, go with your gut, go with your plan. But for me personally, just doesn't jive with my strategy on how to trade this kind of thing. So, how difficult is it to get orders filled in the OTC? I like to buy them when they are oversold and sell them as soon as they move up a few cents, but others say difficult or impossible. It's not impossible. So for me personally, you just have to look for dollar volume. Dollar volume is the biggest key in the OTC. It's really difficult to buy something when nobody else is looking at it or buying it. So putting a bid price in, getting in at a bid price when there's dollar volume pouring into a stock is definitely something you want to do. Limit orders, limit orders, limit orders. Don't ever market buy or market sell an OTC stock, period. It will kill you. And usually you can put a limit order in and say, I want to get in at this price. If it comes up to that price, you just get filled and you move on. And then when you go to sell into that momentum, make sure that you're always selling on the ask price. Again, limit order as well. And you can do that with just about any brokerage. So Um, Darren, I still am holding INKW. Yes, it's a waiting game. It's super frustrating. I'm really pissed off at INKW. Don't want to talk about it. But I still am holding it. And I do think that eventually it'll move. But we'll see. Eventually is objective, I guess. So what price do I need? So again, limit orders, decoy. That's going to be your key to success as far as that's concerned. Alrighty, TOMI, yeah, Andrew. So TOMI end of day Friday, it has 58K worth of buys in the last 15 minutes. Really a nice week. We saw that, Andrew, right? Last time we saw something like that was COPP, and that was an incredible move. So TOMI, let's take a look at that real quick. TOMI. So instead in the last 15 minutes, it got some pretty nice buying going on. So let's take a look at that. And we've talked about this before about TOMI just being the gift that keeps on giving, right? You know, it dips down. It's shot up straight up. This is another nice low floater. It's shot straight up before, all the way down from lows of 0.2, okay, all the way up to highs of about 59 cents. So amazing move the first run it had. And it's been giving you plenty of opportunities, to keep moving. And buying on dips or selling at the top and continuing to buy low once it bottoms out. And so TOMI, yeah, you can see, let's go to the 5-minute chart. Actually, let's go 15 minutes. We'll do 15-minute chart to kind of see what you were looking at. And yeah, you can see this. Last 15 minutes of the day, an amazing amount of buying. Unbelievable. So where does this go from here? Well, it looks as if it's trying to break up over that 39-cent previous high. You can see it's pretty nice looking cup and handle on a 15-minute chart. And so we'll see if this actually ends up breaking up over 40 cents. If it breaks up over 40 cents, look out. We could potentially see previous highs yet again on TOMI. So lots of good potential with this stock. The chart looks fantastic. I love it. I know that you love it too, Andrew. And I think that if it breaks up over 40 cents, and legitimately breaks over, no candle wicking, none of that. We want to see a legitimate break over 40 cents. I think we can see this approach those new highs yet again. So keep your eye on TOMI. Great one to bring up, Andrew. Thanks for that. H-Dog, EMBR, developing takeover merger ground floor. EMBR, that was another good one. Really great one to bring up. So let's look at that one. EMBR. So H-Dog says, let's go back and look at that. Developing takeover and merger ground floor. VR company merging in, just discovered they have the HoloLens game changer for VR. Wow, okay. So they have HoloLens. Look at this. Yeah, you can actually see this is flagging pretty good on the daily chart. Let's move it out to the 30. What's it look like on 30? You can see it's holding quite nicely. I like this H-Dog. Look at this holding. It's holding really nice over, every time it wants to come down to the bottom here at about 0026, just continues to bounce and holds that low pretty well. You can see it's kind of developing this channel right here as well. So great due diligence on the fundamental side, and it also looks really good on the chart as well. So EMBR looks to be like a really good stock as well from the chart perspective, and given what H-Dog has given us as well as far as what's going on from the fundamental side, I would say that if you're looking to accumulate position on EMBR, that if it comes down to this 25 and holds that, I think it's a good one to continue to accumulate at this mid 002 area. I don't know where you see the preload there. I'm not sure. There wasn't really any loading before this initial move up. So slim down, I'm not quite sure I see that. Usually if you're looking for a preload, something that's front loaded, for example, you would see a significant amount of movement over a longer period of time of accumulation. There really just wasn't that much. You can see this volume here. I don't really see that much. See, this big green candle is actually a catalyst that occurred. So that's not loading. That's just people buying this straight up and then holding. So that's why it's holding well above this mid 2 range. So I would tend to disagree with you there. Some of us have been killing it on volume trades. Anyone wants to know what we play in the mentorship? Nothing better to learn. Yep, absolutely. We've been killing it in mentorship lately. Pred got some movement on Friday. What are your thoughts? So Pred, PRED, that's a good one to go over. It got uplisted, and I told my folks in mentorship group as well. PRED is something that I do see value in. Yes, I think that they're going to be to make a nice move. And honestly, their uplisting to the QX was not what I was looking for. Is it good that they moved up on the QX? Yeah, sure it is. But just give me the freaking NASDAQ uplisting that they applied for back in May. You know, it's encouraging to see this nice move. They had really 2 solid green days. And if you have any interest on, you know, my sentiments on Pred, I put out several videos on this back in the early summer. So as far as due diligence is concerned, I have a ton of it. So I'm not going to go over all of it right now. But Pred does have a lot of promise. They're a legitimate company. The people that are backing this and the management that's backing this is solid. You know, I always tell people in real estate, right? When your real estate agent always tells you one thing, that you should be looking for what? Location, location, location. And for this, you want to look at management. Management is the key. So management is the location for real estate. And so the management that's behind Pred and the direction where they're going is excellent. It's just been frustrating to see how this has kind of been bleeding down over time because people are bored. People wanted to see the uplisting. We still haven't seen it. So it's been frustrating to say the least, but this is another one of those ones that I have kind of tucked back into my long-term hold. Yes, I see more value in Pred. Yes, I think that in the long term, it's going to pay off, but in the short term, it's been frustrating to say the least. They did uplist the QX, which was encouraging, but that's not the uplisting that I wanted to see. So I still like it. It is what it is, but if you're looking for a long-term hold in a penny stock, I think PRED could be a good one for you to hold on to. All right. What else we got? Let's see here. COPP. Yeah, I mean, Andrew, that's an incredible move. I don't know if I would suggest anybody buying COPP where it's at right now, but yeah, you're already riding free, so excellent trade on that. You've been talking about it in the mentorship as well. Yeah. All right. Yeah, absolutely, Darren. So no problem, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words there, brother. All right. So the questions are drying up here. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Again, if you guys are not in the mentorship, I'll put the coupon code in here again. It is Halloween. If I can spell it right. I don't know what my deal is with spelling Halloween today. So Halloween is the promo code. So if you want to go put it in the coupon code area, go over to WeTradeHQ.com under my mentors and check that out. If you just want to go straight to the link is in the description below, and you get 20% off. So go check it out. It's only good. I actually extended this, so it's good through Halloween. Usually I only give them to you for 24 hours, but it's good through Halloween. You get 20% off, and give us a shot. And if you like it, great. If you don't, then it is what it is. Not gonna hurt my feelings. But anyways, thank you guys so much. If you like this video, I certainly would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you've never subscribed to this channel, if you want to see more content such as this, give me a subscribe. There's more to this than just Stock Watch Sunday. I try to give you guys as much content as I possibly can to provide inspiration, to help you change your life in some sort of way. And that's kind of my whole mission with WeTradeHQ and this channel in general. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the love and support that you give to me every single day. And that's going to do it for me, guys. And as always, I will see you all before the bell. And B. Smith is out. Have a good one, guys. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.